The 3 game-changing soil secrets that made my garden explode with growth. There's something almost magical about watching your garden come alive. Leaves greener, roots stronger, and fruits that practically burst with life. But here's the truth that took me years to learn. Great gardens aren't grown by luck or fancy fertilizers. They're built from the ground up. Literally. The secret lies in nurturing the soil, the living ecosystem beneath our feet that feeds everything above it. Once I began focusing on soil health, my garden didn't just grow, it exploded. Today I'm sharing the 3 soil amendments that completely transformed my garden's performance, turning tired soil into a powerhouse of growth. If I had to name one thing that completely revolutionized my soil, it's compost. Gardeners call it black gold for a reason. It's the foundation of every thriving ecosystem. Compost is made from decomposed organic matter, kitchen scraps, garden clippings, leaves, and even paper that break down into a dark, crumbly material packed with nutrients and beneficial microbes. What makes compost so powerful is its ability to improve both the structure and fertility of the soil. For sandy soils that drain too fast, compost increases water retention. For heavy clay that compacts easily, it loosens and aerates the soil, creating that perfect crumbly texture roots adore. It's like giving your plants a home they actually want to live in. But compost doesn't just change texture, it changes life itself in your soil. It's loaded with slow-release nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, along with vital trace minerals. More importantly, it's teeming with microorganisms that kickstart the soil food web. These microbes feed on organic matter and, in turn, make nutrients available to your plants. Think of compost as both the buffet and the chefs of your soil's ecosystem. To apply compost effectively, I spread a 1 to 2 inch layer over my garden beds at the start of every season. For vegetable beds, especially those growing heavy feeders like tomatoes or squash, I mix in an extra inch before planting. You can gently work it into the topsoil, but often, I let nature do the mixing through rain and watering. Over time you'll notice darker, softer, richer soil, and your plants will show it in every leaf and bloom. If compost is the king, then worm castings are the crown jewels. These tiny granules, produced by red wigglers or earthworms, may not look like much, but they're one of the most potent natural fertilizers you can use. Packed with essential nutrients, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, and potassium, worm castings provide nourishment that's instantly available to plants without the risk of burning them. What sets worm castings apart is their microbial richness. They're bursting with beneficial bacteria, enzymes, and humic acids that stimulate plant growth and soil health. When I add worm castings to my garden, I'm not just feeding the plants, I'm feeding the entire underground ecosystem that sustains them. I use worm castings in 3 main ways. When planting, I add 1 to 2 handfuls directly into transplant holes. This gives young plants a strong start and promotes vigorous root development. As a top dressing, mid-season, I sprinkle about half a cup around the base of each plant and water it in. As worm casting tea, this is my favorite booster. Mix 1 cup of worm castings into a 5-gallon bucket of dechlorinated water. Stir or aerate for 24 hours, then water your plants with this microbial-rich brew. It acts like an energy drink for your soil, giving plants a fast yet gentle boost. Since I started using worm castings regularly, I've noticed faster seed germination, stronger transplants, and leaves with richer color and texture. My leafy greens in particular have become noticeably lusher and more vibrant. Here's where things get really fascinating. Mycorrhizal fungi are microscopic powerhouses that form a symbiotic partnership with plant roots. Once connected, these fungi extend far beyond the root zone through thin, thread-like structures called hyphae. Think of them as your plant's secret underground internet, transmitting nutrients, water, and even chemical signals across the soil. In this partnership, plants provide the fungi with sugars, and in return, the fungi fetch water and minerals from parts of the soil that roots alone can't reach. This relationship can increase a plant's nutrient uptake by up to 30% and dramatically boost drought resistance. Since I introduced mycorrhizae into my garden, I've noticed plants holding strong during dry spells and producing deeper, healthier root systems. Using mycorrhizal inoculants is simple. You can find them as powders or granules in most garden centers. The key is root contact. I dust the roots of seedlings or transplants before planting, or mix about 1 tablespoon of powder into each planting hole. For established beds, I dilute 1 tablespoon of mycorrhizal powder into a gallon of water and apply it directly to the soil at the base of the plants. Avoid applying it to dry soil. Moisture helps fungi establish faster. Unlike fertilizers that deplete, mycorrhizae actually build lasting benefits. Once established, they continue working year after year, forming a permanent underground network that connects and strengthens your entire garden. Now, you might be wondering, how do these 3 amendments work together? Compost lays the foundation by improving structure and nutrient balance. Worm castings inject microbial life and fast-acting nutrition. Mycorrhizal fungi complete the system, expanding the plant's ability to absorb and utilize those nutrients efficiently. Together, they transform ordinary soil into a thriving, self-sustaining ecosystem. It's important to remember that soil health is a journey, not a one-time fix. You won't see overnight miracles, but with consistency, your garden will start responding in ways that feel almost magical. Fewer pests, healthier roots, and harvests that seem to double in size and flavor. Before you start, take a few minutes to understand your soil. A simple test to check pH, texture, and nutrient levels can help you target what your soil needs most. Over time, rotate your amendments based on what your garden tells you. Some years, you might need more compost. Other years, more microbial life through worm castings and fungi. The key is listening to your soil. It will always tell you what it needs if you pay attention. There's something deeply rewarding about working with nature instead of against it. These 3 amendments, compost, worm castings, and mycorrhizal fungi, don't just feed plants, they heal the soil, creating an ecosystem that keeps giving season after season. When your soil thrives, everything else follows: lush growth, vibrant blooms, and bountiful harvests. So, the next time you step into your garden, remember this. It's not just about what you plant above the ground, it's about the life you nurture beneath it. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Crop Corner for more soil-smart gardening tips, hands-on tutorials, and real results from the ground up. Share this with a fellow gardener who's ready to turn their dirt into living, breathing soil. Let's keep growing, one garden, one handful of compost, and one microbe at a time.